They must want to protect something awful precious.
Paladin Dance. Glad to see you alive and well, sir.
Are we in luck?
Sir, mission accomplished. We have the transmitter.
Finally! Some good news for a change. Nice work, sir.
I didn't do it alone. Halen, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the Brotherhood. He shows a lot of promise, and with the proper guidance, I think he has the potential of becoming one of the best.
Oh yeah? And here I thought you joined up for a sense of purpose and meaning.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run. You can play it however you want, tough guy. It's gonna take a lot more than completing one mission to impress me.
Reese, that's enough. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together. And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood. We're not soldiers of fortune. We're an army, and we've dedicated our lives to uphold a strict code of ethics. If you intend to stay within our ranks, you need to obey our tenets without question. If you intend to stay with us, I expect you to take my advice seriously. I only ask for two things from anyone under my command: honesty and respect. You fall in line, you stay in line. I give you an order, and you follow it. It's as simple as that. There's one last order of business I wanted to get out of the way. I'm going to recommend you to be awarded the rank of Knight. Now, nothing's official until you speak to Elder Maxon, but I wanted you to be the first to know. Everyone starts out as a Knight or Initiate. It's not meant as a sign of disrespect towards your abilities.
Ad Victoriam, Knight.
He doesn't even know what that means, Halen.
Ad Victoriam means to victory. In our eyes, defeat is unacceptable, because we're fighting for the future of mankind. Our rallying cry is more powerful than any weapon you could ever carry. Remember that. Now, I've received orders that we're both to report to the Pridwin. However, if you want to run a few ops for Scribe Halen or Knight Reese first, they could certainly use your assistance. I'll leave the choice up to you. Let me know when you're ready to mount up.
Tell me we don't need to
Reese
find
still giving you the
something
cold
in here,
shoulder.
'cause that may take a while.
Are you ready to head up to the ship? Takes your breath away, doesn't it? We call our ship the Pridwin. She's loaded with enough troops and supplies to mount a major offensive. If she's here, Elder Maxon's here. And that means we're going to war. I can't tell if you're bored or just ignoring me.
It sure as hell ain't gonna be taken as a gesture of good faith from the other forces in the Commonwealth.
What's the matter? Don't like kicking in the door? Don't worry. You'll fall in line with our tactics sooner or later. That being said, you're about to get to know the Pridwin up close and personal. I've received orders that we're both to report to her immediately. Follow me up to the roof of the police station. We're going for a little ride.
Go ahead.
What are you waiting for? Get up to the Prydwen now. Lancer Captain Kells is waiting for
You don't
us on
see
the
a
Prydwen.
lot of vertibirds in this kind of shape. You know,
That minigun in front of you is loaded and ready to fire. If you spot anything hostile during the flight, I... suggest you put it to good use. Make sure you properly identify your target before you start shooting. We don't want to have any mishaps and fire on the locals.
The Commonwealth looks different from up here, doesn't it? It never ceases to amaze me how drastically your perception of the battlefield changes from the air. We're gonna need that edge when we take on the Institute. They've already proven that they're technologically superior, which means there's no telling what types of weapons they'll have in their arsenal. Hopefully, our air superiority and tactical know-how will make the difference. Now all we have to do is find them. And I'm betting that Elder Maxon will have a plan already in place by the time we arrive. I wish everyone believed in our cause. But they've been blinded by rumors and misinformation. They don't realize that the Brotherhood of Steel is the Commonwealth's last hope for survival. Every man, woman, and child below is in mortal danger. It's only a matter of time before the enemy overwhelms the population. Cleansing the Commonwealth is our duty, and I will gladly spill my own blood if it ensures our victory. We're on final approach to the airport. The Prydwen should be coming into view just ahead. We'll be meeting Lancer Captain Kells on the flight deck. Stick close to me and answer all of his questions. All right, soldier. This is the moment when everything changes. I hope you're ready.
what's the plan?
There's Lancer Captain Kells. Follow me. Permission to come aboard, sir?
Permission granted, and welcome back, Paladin. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you on a successful mission. And is this our new recruit?
Yes, sir. I feel promoted him to initiate, and I'd like to sponsor his entry into our rankings personally.
Yes, we've read your reports. You'll be
The
pleased to know
Commonwealth
that
can take
Elder
a real
Maxon's
toll
approved
on
your
you if you
request
let it.
and placed the recruit in your
This
charge.
place make
Thank you, sir.
monsters out of men.
And my current orders?
You are to remain on the Prydwen and await further instructions.
Very good, sir. Ad
No
Victoriam,
machine should
Captain.
have
Ad
free
Victoriam,
will.
Paladin.
Why? You jealous you had to turn yours in?
So, You're the one Paladin Danse has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me. Which is precisely why I personally insist on scrutinizing every recruit who boards this vessel. I've read Paladin Dance's reports. He seems to think you'll make a fine addition to the Brotherhood. You might expect an endorsement like that to grant you a great deal of latitude with us. But let me make one thing clear. The Brotherhood of Steel has traveled to the Commonwealth with a specific goal in mind. As the captain of this vessel, I won't allow anyone to jeopardize our mission, no matter how valuable they think they are. Understood? Good. That's all for now, soldier. Your orders are to proceed to the command deck for the address. After which, Elder Maxson wishes to have a word with you. If you have any questions, ask me now. Otherwise, you're dismissed. Your orders are to proceed to Elder Maxson's address. Anything else? Then I suggest you head over to the command deck immediately. Dismissed.
You need something?
Brothers and sisters, the road behind has been long and fraught with difficulty. Each and every one of you has surpassed my expectations by rapidly facilitating our arrival in the Commonwealth. You have accomplished this amazing feat without a hint of purpose or direction. And most impressively, without question. Now that the ship is in position, it is time to reveal our purpose. And beneath the Commonwealth, there is a cancer, known as the Institute. A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface. They are experimenting with dangerous technologies that could prove to be the world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb. They call their creation the Synth. A robotic abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. This notion that a machine could be granted free will is not only offensive, but horribly dangerous. And like the atom, if it isn't harnessed properly, it has the potential of rendering us extinct as a species. I am not prepared to allow the Institute to continue this line of experimentation. Therefore, the Institute and their synths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy. Itself. Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam! Ad Victoriam!
I care about them, you know. The people of the Commonwealth. Exactly. I just hope we're here in time. I refuse to allow the mistakes of the past to be repeated. I want you to start taking responsibility for this planet. To start making a difference. And from what I've read in Paladin Dance's reports, you've already begun that journey. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation. Therefore, from this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Knight. And, befitting your title, we're granting you a suit of power armor to protect you on the field of battle. Wear it with pride. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to get used to it. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar with the Pridwin and my staff, report to the flight deck for your new orders. Welcome aboard the Pridwin, soldier. Make us proud.
Status report.
Green across the board, sir. Nothing new.
Good. Carry on, Knight.
Congratulations on the promotion, Knight.
Don't let Ingram catch you standing around. You'll be on report before you can blink. So how did it look out there?
We've got a lot of work ahead of us, brother.
There you are. How did it go with Elder Maxim? Of course he does. How could he afford not to? I just hope you appreciate how much of a chance I'm taking bringing you into the fold this quickly. Not to put too fine a point on it, but if you screw up, we go down together. Well, you better get used to it. If you want to remain a part of the Brotherhood of Steel, you're going to have to adjust to the military way of life. Now, I know you're eager to hop into a suit of power armor and take the fight to the Institute. But first things first. In order to be an effective part of the team, you need to learn your way around this ship and get to know its crew. Since I've been officially assigned to you as your sponsor, I'd recommend taking me along with you. It might help if I tagged along with you. On the other hand, you might want to make your first impression without a paladin standing over your shoulder. It's up to you. Suit yourself. I'll be in the mess hall if you need me. If you keep boarding that guard, they're going to slow us down.
Glad you finally stopped by, soldier. Are you ready for your medical exam? All right. I'm going to ask you a series of medical-related questions, and I'd like you to answer me to the best of your ability. First question. As a child, were you ever... The television? Wait a second. Let me check my notes here. You were a vault dweller? You're probably healthier than anyone else aboard. Anyway, sorry I missed that in your records. Just going down the list of questions. I'm sure you understand. Okay, second question. Have you ever had, or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable... Well, you don't appear to be suffering from any long-term ill effects. Third question. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species? That hardly qualifies, so I'll just put no. Last question. Would you have any problems pulling the trigger on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formerly human, or machine? Oh, absolutely. I feel that the mental state of the crew is just as important as the physical. Anyone that hesitates firing in combat due to misguided moral standards certainly isn't Brotherhood material. So what about you? Would you have a problem with it? Excellent. You'll fit in quite well around here. Excellent. I think I've got all the information I need. I see no reason to prevent you from beginning your duties immediately. If you ever need medical assistance, you let me know.
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as soon as I can. I hardly need to... Oh my. It appears I've mistaken, since it's obvious that you aren't who I was expecting. Learning your way around... Ah, I see. Under normal circumstances, I'd provide you with a proper orientation of my department. However, I'm woefully behind setting up research patrols and getting bombarded with requests for... Unfortunately, that would be... As you patrol the Commonwealth, keep your eyes open for... I'm author... And if you wish to... In any event...
Try it now.
Nothing. I was supposed to report 10 minutes ago. If you can't fix it...
I can fix it. You're the one who decided to kick your way through a Mirelurk.
I don't know about Scribe Naraya.
Got it.
I think she loves her little
There
zoo
it
a bit
is.
too much.
Thanks, brother. I owe you.
I'm listening.
Dumb and Ugly had a child, it'd be a super mutant.
Commonwealth's not an easy place to travel alone. Nice to have someone watching my back.
Why would you bring that synth here?
So, you're the new recruit I heard about. Huh, not what I was expecting. Hey, if Paladin Dance vouched for you, that's good enough for me. You just don't look like one of the usual wasteland. Anyway, since you came down here to meet me, we may as well get it over with. My name's Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find me. If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Pridwin's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire, you come see me. Played. Hell, I have a whole table's worth of duties around here. There isn't a day that goes by on this. And since I'm stuck... Can't tell if you're patronizing me or... How about I just forget you? Anyway, I'm sure you're here to get your hand... There's a pretty decent T-60 suit sitting in Bay 3 that's all yours. The left leg... Oh, and if you need any work done on it, feel free to use the workshop. Now, if you'll excuse...
Step forward, Knight. Even though they've locked me in this blasted cage, I promise that I won't bite. It's not that bad. And this is the stowage depot. And I, as you probably already, the powers that be have me locked. There's plenty of spare ammo and equipment all over the ship. You can help yourself to anything you can find. Everything in here is a bit more specialized and unique. The good news is by having a constant flow of caps, I'm able to buy whatever you bring me. Yeah, I'm mostly interested in weapons, but I'll take any... Of course, if you're just looking to make a few caps on the side... Oh, no. It's nothing like you're thinking. It just involves a little bit of heavy lifting and... And since I'm stuck up here manning this one-man zoo, I need someone. After you're done with the meet and greet, we can discuss. In the meantime, if you ever need anything else, gun, a mod, even ammo,
what did you want?
How can a machine believe it's alive? It's ridiculous. Knight. Tighten up the meter.
Like that?
Now split the difference.
There?
Now half.
You want to do it?
No. I think you've almost got it. That's it. Thanks.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the Pridwin's crew, are you ready for your next assignment, brother? The kind of assignment where all of the training you've done, close enough to smell, is making me sick to my stomach. To make matters worse, they're sitting on top of a massive stockpile of Fat Man shells we could use in our campaign. I want you to head over there, wipe out everything that moves, and secure that stockpile. Understood? Super mutants are no better than synths. They're a reminder of man's folly when it comes to harnessing technology. Whether it's using biochemistry to manipulate genes, or trying to create life from a bunch of circuits. It's the wrong path for science. As members of the Brotherhood, it's our sworn duty to exterminate these abominations in every form. So, can I count on you to get the job done? Look, I realize you're eager to take the fight to the Institute. But it'll have to wait. The Brotherhood cannot allow those abominations to have a nuclear arsenal at their fingertips.
Super mutants with nuclear weapons? Not gonna be able to sleep at night knowing that.
Now, we have a vertibird on standby, fully armed, and ready to depart. Use it to carry our message to Fort Strong, and wipe those dirty mutants from the face of the earth. Dismissed.
You got my attention. Always wondered what you'd look like as a robot. Not too shabby.
Can't believe you traveled with that synth.
What needs doing? Always wondered what you'd look like as a robot. Not too shabby. Flying around in a 200-year-old aircraft? What could go wrong?
Welcome aboard, Knight. Instruments are green, and we're cleared for release. Target acquired. I'll try to keep him in your sights. Primary target down. Look at that thing bleed. Let's find a place to set her down. We'll hightail it back to the prison for repairs.
This is the age of the super mutant! Oh, hell!
They must want to protect something awful precious. I think they're gonna have to forfeit their deposit.
Wish a buckethead would show up. I'd rip his legs clean off. Getting hungry. No green stuff here. Someone there?
Someone's something out there.
You can't hide forever.
All right.
Go ahead and hide, little bleeder.
Talk about collecting dust.
So boring.
Bomb could go off in this place and no one would be the wiser.
What? Who's there?
What's that? So, this is what 2 centuries without a good dusting looks like. So much knowledge was lost when the bombs hit. Good to see someone trying to bring it back.
And the railroad. Who started it? Yeah.
fighting, but I thought that was maybe just playing.
Tell me we don't need to find something in here, because that may take a while.
That's what it's called.
Sure made a mess of this place, didn't they?
You're here. Stop fighting! The Commonwealth is ours!
It's been one hell of a disagreement to merit all this. Looks like the last time I got a checkup in here. I hate to say it, but they're probably safer in our hands than out there in the wild.
We must find the men of science and institutes of learning. Surely they are out there still.
Look at this place.
You must hate these mutants as... Look at this place. You must hate these mutants as much as I do. They're responsible for the death of a close friend, a Brotherhood knight named Cutler. So when you ask if I hate them, I say hate's too gentle a word. These monstrosities are just another example of man blindly taking a step forward, only to wind up stumbling 2 steps back. I've been fighting for years, trying to put a stop to this madness. And just when I thought we were getting... I've seen what these super mutants do to people. Can you imagine what the synths would do to us if they ever got the upper hand? It would be Armageddon repeated, and maybe the end of everything that we hold... Look, I don't mean to bore you with my rhetoric. I just want you to understand how important these missions are. If the synths reached the point where they outnumbered mankind, how long would it take for them to decide we were no longer necessary? They certainly possess the capability to make more of their own kind, so we'd become expendable. And with Institute technology on their side, nothing could stop them. Not even the Brotherhood. It's a nightmare scenario almost too terrible to contemplate. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's important here is that you got the job done and secured these warheads. You should head back up to the Prydwen and talk to Maxon. I'm sure he'll want to debrief you as soon as possible. Dismissed.
Well, the use this all ended up being... Supposing you paid your taxes before the war, I'm pretty sure a good chunk of this is yours. Not doing them much good at this point.
I mean, I guess I hope that's a lot of people, but regardless. So there's a story that I heard, which I will now share with you. It's a story about a little boy named Billy.
A bomb could go off in this place and no one would...
You're lucky I don't turn your synth into scrap.
Outstanding work at Fort Strong, soldier. Paladin Dance is supervising the transfer of the Fat Man warheads to the Prydwen. They'll provide quite an edge to our arsenal. I've also ordered a detachment to occupy the location, and use it as a staging area to protect the eastern side of the airport. All in all, you handed us quite a valuable location. Not to worry, Knight. You'll be dealing with them sooner than you think. In order to bring the Institute to its knees, we need to use every weapon at our disposal. I try to supply my soldiers with the best. That's why I'm giving you these. Signal grenades can call a vertibird to your location when you need aerial transport. Simply throw one to the ground, and the vertibird will hone in on the unique electromagnetic smoke it emits. Once you're aboard, use the map on your Pip-Boy to interface with the pilot's navigation system, so he'll be able to take you wherever you need. I'm afraid I can't spare a fully armed gunship for this task. A standard transport will have to suffice. Of course, nothing stopping you from using the door gun while in flight. Signal grenades are usually reserved for our paladins. In your case, you should be grateful that I'm making an exception. Now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was simply the first step towards the liberation of the Commonwealth. An even greater task lies ahead. Our latest intelligence tells us you've infiltrated the Institute and liberated a valuable holotape from their facility. I'm quite disappointed you chose to build the signal interceptor without the Brotherhood Knight. However, you've secured passage to and from their facility, which was one of our primary goals. Outstanding work at Fort Strong, soldier. Paladin Dance, I've also, all in all, not to worry. In order to, I try to, signal grenades can simply throw once you're aboard. Signal grenades are usually reserved for our paladins. In your case, now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was simply the first step towards the liberation of the Commonwealth. An even greater task lies ahead. Our latest intelligence tells us you've infiltrated the Institute and liberated a valuable holotape from their facility. I'm quite disappointed you chose to build the signal interceptor without the Brotherhood Knight. However, you've secured passage to and from their facility, which was one of our primary goals. So, I'm willing to overlook your lapse in judgment, since you've unexpectedly accelerated our plans. I now have 2 missions for you to complete. First and foremost, I want you to bring that holotape to Proctor Ingram right away. There could be data vital to the success of our mission on that tape, so we can't afford to take any chances. The second part of your mission requires a bit of background to explain. About 10 years ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist with various projects. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee, a noted mind in the field of nuclear engineering. Securing useful resources during wartime is critical. That said, Dr. Lee's contributions to our cause were instrumental in maintaining order in the capital wasteland. After some time, she developed differences with the Brotherhood and exiled herself to the Commonwealth. We're fairly certain that her intent was to make contact with the Institute. Although she was working with the Brotherhood of Steel, she never formally joined as a scribe. After the capital wasteland was secured, she objected to the Brotherhood's continued military presence there. I think she assumed we would just walk away from it all. She was wrong. Your mission is simple. Once you're inside the Institute, we want you to track down Dr. Lee's whereabouts. If you find out that she's still alive, make contact with her and convince her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. There's a special project we're working on, and it needs her attention. Dr. Lee previously worked on a potent weapon for the Brotherhood of Steel. We'd like her to continue where she left off. That's all I can tell you. Just keep your mind on the mission, and don't let anything they say sway you from your duty. Good luck, Knight.
I think we ought to talk. We've just been traveling a while now, and I figure there hasn't exactly been equitable distribution of information. I've gotten a decent glimpse into your dirty laundry, but you still don't really know a whole heck of a lot about me. I figured I'd offer to balance the board. So, is there anything you want to know? After I started the agency, it just seemed like the sort of thing a detective ought to wear. I got some old memories, pre-war. Faded to all heck of guys dressed like this, doing what I do, putting on the hat and trench coat, and I figured it'd let folks know I was serious about the whole thing. Clothes make the man and all that. Guess I felt they made me the man I wanted to be. That's a question I've been trying to figure out myself for a long damn time. But I'm still mechanical. Not bioengineered like the fancy synths giving everyone the willies these days. I get tune-ups now instead of checkups. But my memories, my personality, they're all lifted from some cop who volunteered for an experiment back before the war.